All right, so just a couple of minutes ago, we got our very first look at the brand new Fishmiss update that's going to be coming this weekend coming up. Now, a lot of you are probably going to be seeing all of this footage for the very first time because there was only give or take about, I don't know, like 3,000, maybe 4,000 people inside of the Q&A stage that was literally hosted a couple of minutes ago. There's quite a bit to go over, lots of pretty big details, some pretty cool stuff was also shown. So as always, let's waste no more time and get right into this. Now, what you're looking at in the background right now, I know it's probably not like the best quality. I do end up making it bigger and sort of full screen. But yes, this is basically the first sort of quick little glimpse that we're getting at the brand new Fishmiss town, or I think it's called like North Star Station or something like that. But here's the interesting part about this, right? According to what we were told is that this is only about like 1/3 of the entire map. The rest of the map is still currently being worked on right now. We also got a quick little glimpse at a gingerbread rod right there, which I will go ahead and sort of pause on that spot because we can see that the lure speed, at least for right now, keep in mind all of this very much could change. We're still quite literally like a week away from this update dropping, but lure speed for this gingerbread is 50%, luck 65%, control 0.1, resilience 10% with a max kg of 2,000. Now, they do show two other rods here, and I would like to point out that there technically is another rod that is being called like the chaser rod basically, but unfortunately it was not shown throughout this. I guess they wanted to sort of keep it as a secret because there's still so much more stuff. Like they talked about a castle in the map. They talked about a lot of different things that we're literally not even seeing in this portion. But anyways, as you can see right there, there's a peppermint rod, lure speed 350%. So again, a lot of these numbers are more than likely placeholders. We got luck 50%, control 0.12, resilience 12% with a max kg of 10,000. Then right next to that, you have Santa's miracle rod, which actually looks really, really cool. And the lure speed on this is 125%, luck 125%, control 0.25, resilience 25%, and a infinite max kg. So all of these things were sort of like briefly shown. They didn't go too in depth on the rods, and I feel like the reason why they did that is because all of this stuff is probably still very much work in progress. Now, at this point is where he's sort of talking about a couple of different things. Like, for example, he does go ahead and specify that this time around, unlike in Fish Fright, the way that it's going to work is that, yes, there is going to be a specific currency for this land, and that currency is going to be bells. But the way that it works is that you'll be fishing inside of here, you sell the fish, and in return, you get bells. Honestly, great, right? I mean, the game is literally called Fish. That is the entire concept. It's by far a much better system than having to go trick-or-treating and completing extremely tedious quests. Now, at this point is where they start showing a couple of different fish, like the stocking fish, which we did get a leak on this probably like a couple of days ago, maybe even like a week ago. And the funny thing is that this fish does have an audio. I don't fully know if it's like copyright free or anything like that, so I won't be able to share it with you guys, but the audio range is absurd. You can literally hear this thing from across the map, which is going to be an absolute nightmare, but it is what it is. This part right here is when things start to get a little bit infuriating for me. And that's because, yes, this time around, there is a North Star whale. That is sort of like the chaser fish for this update. So at this point, I'm getting pinged in the chat. People are saying, you know, whale incident. I even wrote in the chat right there. I was like, why a whale? And then at this point, they also dragged me up on stage and they started telling me, hey, you know, Carbon, don't fumble it this time around, which no promises. I mean, dude, I'm notoriously known for this. Like, chances are I'm going to lose that bad boy. Like, there's no questions asked. Now, I'll be completely honest. There really wasn't, aside from pretty much those first things and maybe like one other thing that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes here, because this one is going to require us to go really in depth, which is basically what you're looking at in the background right now. But a lot of the things he sort of just like kind of briefly went over, because I guess there's no like physical models that he can show you because a lot of things, again, are still being worked on. I'd imagine Pluto's working on this, Liam is working on this, and a lot of the other team members, PS2, who else is on the team? I think he goes by like 049. There's basically a lot of people working on this and a lot of the OG developers that also worked on the first Fishmiss. But anyways, let's talk about what you're looking at on the screen right here, because this has been the hot topic quite literally for, dude, I want to say probably like the last 48 hours, especially during my stream. A lot of you were asking me questions. I told you that I knew information, but it wasn't public, and I unfortunately just, couldn't share it with you guys. But now we can get into sort of like the nitty-gritty deals about this, and that is obviously the free reward that a lot of you are going to be getting on Christmas Day. It's not a reward, but you'll be able to basically choose whatever rod you want in the game. So this is the way that it's going to work. You're going to have a letter. You can go ahead and put in the name of the rod that you want to get your hands on, and then sign it at the bottom and send it over to Santa. On Christmas Day, you will be rewarded with that rod that you chose. Now, there obviously is a couple of, caveats to this whole entire situation, and that is because you cannot ask for specific exclusive as well as dev rods. Things like Polaris, which a lot of you were asking, will be redeemable in this sort of system. Same for the Fabulous rod. Same for pretty much every single rod that has ever been inside of the music venue. Things that unfortunately will not be are content creator rods, like for example, the Doombringer or even the Photographer rod. Same for the Tree rod, Miku's rod. None of those will unfortunately be claimable in this system. Neither the Rex Umbrum or even Nocturne. All of those are just not going to be claimable. Some of them is because of obviously copyright reasons, and others are just because they are purely developer rods. Some of the more notable ones that you guys probably are curious about are, like for example, what I said before, the Polaris. You also have the Fabulous rod. You also have Astral Hook, which if you were not there for the second C, great opportunity for you to be able to get it. A couple of people also mentioned the Eardrum rod. That one is also going to be obtainable. All of the ones that are inside of the venue for the most part will be claimable. With that being said though, there is sort of a catch to this, because I'm sure that a lot of you are like, oh dude, I got the perfect idea. I'm not level 1000, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna claim, I don't know, dude, Seraphic rod, right? No. Unfortunately, if you try to go ahead and claim any of these level locked ones, you will basically not be able to use it. You'll still have it, but you will not be able to use it, if that makes sense. Same for, like, for example, the Astral Hook. It's kind of weird because they said that you'd be able to claim this, but if I remember off the top of my head, the Astral Hook was locked behind like level 2500, which is technically just not feasible right now. So I don't know what they're going to do about that rod. Maybe they will lock it behind max level. Same would go for like the No Life rod and all of the other rods that are locked behind levels. These will basically say like, hey, you don't have enough power to use this until you basically reach that milestone. But yeah, man, overall, there was some pretty good details shared here. I do wish that they would have shown a little bit more of the map, but again, we are so far kind of like away from the actual update that it makes sense that a lot of these models are still being worked on. Again, things that were mentioned were like a giant castle. They're doing apparently something with the Christmas tree. They didn't really go too much into detail about that, but basically if you log on Christmas Day, there is a specific reward that is going to be given to everyone that logs on. They didn't go into detail on what that reward is, but apparently people are going to really like it. And like I mentioned before, okay, dude, I just realized this guy's running around with a frost whale. Bro, come on. But yeah, man, as I was saying before, there is again another rod that is like the Chaser rod, which they sort of want to keep a secret for right now. Oh, dude, this is like the little jump scares that they were doing during the stream too. It was like a Santa Claus that kept popping up. All right, to sort of end things off here, I want to go ahead and play this little portion of sort of like where Nate and Nick are, for starters, they're going to start talking about me not losing the whale. But a little bit after that, Nate goes into more detail on how exactly the map is going to be different to like any event that they've ever done. And I really want you guys to just sort of hear it out of their mouth so that I don't, mess anything up and say something that I maybe wasn't supposed to say. So enjoy this little portion right here. There may be a couple of, bad words here and there that I might have to block out. But besides that, enjoy this portion.
This could actually be his redemption. This could be his redemption.
Carbon,
bro.
don't lose it.
Oh, Carbon, lock in, bro. Lock in.
But no. I'm already loving this update. There's like another big thing is a lot of the map will be very, very like reactive. So this like usually the map is just kind of there as like an in between for fishing, but like our goal is to kind of add a lot of fun stuff on this map. I mean, the water isn't here, but Nick will show you that like.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work or not because it was kind of thrown in, but
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't on here.
But
well, then
essentially,
what
it'll do, what it'll do is essentially it'll start breaking as you're walking on it, and then it'll fall apart.
Yeah.
Right? It's like nice and
And
reactive.
there's like there's a lot like for example like there's like a glass house that you can break, and it gives you like a reward. You make like its owner sad. There's a lot of like little fun, cute things. Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if it's still over here or not, but yeah, no.
No, I think it should be over there somewhere. It's like
There's gonna be a lot of just little like fun stuff for you guys to explore and little like secrets, stuff like that. So hopefully people can give some time to appreciate those and get some of the little unique rewards and stuff like that from those secrets.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
gonna take a lot of time
I honestly
for the
think
YouTubers to
this
figure
will
it
be a lot more chill than Fish Fry. I think Fish Fry, honestly, it was a little bit, in my
was a bit of
opinion, a little too grindy. I feel like,
Yeah, it was
I think
definitely a
that in
grind.
this case, there'll be a lot to do. Arguably more, I would say, but it won't be as like, just
It won't be as hard.
grind up
Yeah, a lot of
candy.
it
won't be like
yeah.
grinding up candy like constantly. It won't be as repetitive, right? It'll be more
Yeah.
just laid back and chill.
Yeah,
Because,
this will
I
be
don't
kind of
know.
the fish that you guys are used to, but in like a fun seasonal way rather than the normal way. Because
I don't know, it reminds me more of like the actual Fishmiss, right?
yeah, definitely more of like the old Fishmiss, which a lot of people I really loved our last Fishmiss. Honestly, it was like still to this day one of my like favorite updates.
Yeah.
So
Super simple and chill, yeah. Also,
yeah,
you have Carbon on the stage. You're gonna be in the update, and you're gonna be a key part of it, bro. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Oh
Bro,
wow.
a whale? Really?
Yeah,
Out of all
what's wrong
things,
with
a
whales?
whale?
What's wrong with whales, Carbon? What's wrong with
Bro, I'm cooked. That's what's wrong.
No, you got it, bro. You got it. I
Nah,
believe in
bro,
you, man.
you guys are
It's the
setting me up for
redemption, it's the redemption. It's the redemption.
You got that, bro. You need to catch that first try. It's not gonna be easy either, by the way. It's gonna be really hard. You definitely
much
gotta make
harder.
sure you're using it. Oh, wow, what was that? You make sure you're using a good rod, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm locked in this time.
We'll find out about that.
Ah, I love this. Can we put some emphasis on the train over here? Literally,
Yo.
what was that? Did
Yo,
y'all see
lit,
that?
bro? Chill.
So yeah, that was pretty much what they had to say. It was kind of funny, especially when they ended up putting me on stage. But another thing that I sort of just caught there as I was listening back, playing that footage for you guys, is that apparently I'm going to be a very important key part about the update. I'm going to assume that I'm probably going to be Santa, but I don't know. I literally have no information about it whatsoever. So I'll be figuring it all out at the same time as you guys. I'm excited, dude. This weekend is going to be crazy. As always, we will, of course, be live. We have plenty of other stuff. There's going to be a trailer dropped for Fishmiss, more than likely Thursday or Friday. So be on the lookout for that. We'll obviously go ahead and talk a little bit about it, go over a couple of details here on the channel. So make sure that you guys subscribe. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.